Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video on how to set up a module in which students need to complete a lesson um, and have some sort of requirement in order to move on into the next lesson. So just kind of a quick little introduction about how to do it. So you want to start by obviously having your module, as I've discussed in a previous video, set up by unit on momentum and impulse or momentum collisions. Already have a few lessons published in here. We'll continue to publish some more. I just want to set this up where students will need to meet some sort of criteria in order to move on and have access to the next lesson. This will allow students to kind of work at their own pace. Again, if you want to do it where these lessons just get released on a scheduled date, I can talk about that as well. All right. So first step you want to do is we want to find your module, and we're going to click on these three dots over here. This is kind of where you're going to get to your advanced options. Right. A couple things here. We can edit it. Right. We can delete it. You can share it to the commons, which means like you can take your whole module and make it available to other people in the district or just the world. But for the purpose of what we're doing, we want to click on edit. So a couple things here. We could add a whole prerequisite to this entire module, right? So if we wanted to have it where students need to have completed a previous module, we can select that in order for this module to be available. You can lock your module until a certain date, right? If you're not ready to publish it yet, or you want to publish it, but you want to have it released at a certain time, you can just lock until and specify a date. But really, if you just want students to kind of work through your lessons sequentially, what you're going to do is you are going to click on Add Requirement. You'll kind of get this option here. You'll want to click on Students must complete all these requirements. Students, and make sure you check off the box, students must move through these requirements in a sequential order. And then you can specify what those requirements are. So obviously I want them to go through a sequential order. So I got lesson 1, I set it up as a quiz. There are 5 quiz questions, so they need to get 5 out of 5 in order to move on to the next one. I set it up where they can take it multiple times. So, where it takes them 2 times or 10 times to kind of get it all right, they will be able to then move on to the next lesson. Again, this one I set up as a quiz as well. This time it's 7 questions. Then you get 7 questions correct. Go ahead and pull up my third one. Now you'll notice when you add a requirement, you choose whatever the next lesson is going to be. And you have a few options here. Right now we have view the item. So you could have it where students, all they need to do is just kind of look at it or read it. Right? If you just want to post like a lesson or a block of text or a video. If it's an assignment, as soon as students have submitted the assignment, then they can move on to the next step. Again, in this case, I'm setting it up as a quiz, so I will be able to specify the amount of points. I haven't finished this quiz, so right now it's not showing me the total number. My lesson 4 is also a quiz, and my lesson 5 is an assignment, so students are just going to need to they can do 2 things, right? They can mark as done, just saying that there's a little button that they can just press done, or they can submit an assignment. In this case, I'm going to have a document for them to download. They'll kind of work in the document, and then they will upload it to Canvas. And then so as soon as they submit it, then they will have access to their next assignment. All right, once we have this done, you can update module. Click continue. Just give you a sense of what the student view looks like. I'm just going to publish these real quick. There's not anything there. One cool feature is on this right side, you have a student view. So if you click on this, this will give you an idea of what the students see on your Canvas page. You can see here, right? We can see all the lessons that are available, but the only one that we have access to is lesson 1. Once we go through this lesson, we score all 5 points. We'll get a little check mark here, and the next lesson will open up, and then same thing. We'll just continue to open up sequentially until we've completed all our lessons. Go ahead and leave this. Now, you may have those students, those few, who will see these lessons and just like go through them all at once. And kudos to those students. So if you want to set it up where it's kind of scheduled to release at certain times, one thing you can do as well when you click on a certain assignment, can edit it. We can make it available from a certain date. So if I want this to be my Monday morning lesson, I can set the date to be April 30th. And then from then on, even if students have met all the requirements, they will not have access to this until the 30th. And then for the next lesson, I can make that available the 31st, etc. For purposes of my case, I think it's only maybe a couple students who will really just try to knock all these lessons out. So for most students, it's not really going to matter. So those are just a couple ways that you can kind of set up your modules to really just be automatic. Great way for you to just set up your learning ahead of time and let students kind of take charge of their own learning. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or comment in the video below.